Imagine a device that fits in your palm, yet holds the collective knowledge of humanity. It can connect you to a loved one thousands of miles away with a tap, help you navigate a foreign city, or capture a perfect sunset in stunning detail. This is your smartphone. It feels like magic, a seamless part of our daily lives. We use it for work, for entertainment, for connection, and we rarely stop to think about how it came to be. We see the sleek glass, the polished metal, and the vibrant screen, but we are blind to its true origin story. This story does not begin in a sterile, futuristic factory run by robots. It begins deep underground, in the dust and the dark, where the very building blocks of our digital world are torn from the earth. The magic of your phone is powered by a periodic table of elements. There is lithium for the battery, cobalt to keep it stable, copper for the wiring, gold and silver for the circuitry, and a group of elements known as rare earth metals for the speakers, the vibration motor, and the brilliant colors on your screen. These materials are not invented, they are mined. And the mining process for many of these minerals is one of the darkest chapters in the smartphone story. In places like the Democratic Republic of Congo, where much of the world's cobalt is found, miners, including children, work in perilous, hand-dug tunnels with no safety equipment. They earn a few dollars a day to extract the cobalt that will one day power a battery in a device that costs more than they might make in a year. This is the first, and most human, hidden cost. The convenience we enjoy is built upon a foundation of grueling labor and often, profound human suffering that remains completely invisible to us, the end users. Before your phone was ever assembled, its shadow had already touched lives in ways we cannot imagine. Once these raw materials are extracted, they embark on a global journey. They are shipped to massive refineries and then to component factories, and finally, they converge at the place where your phone is born, the assembly plant. These facilities, often located in countries with large workforces and lower labor costs, are like small cities. They employ hundreds of thousands of people, working around the clock to meet the insatiable global demand for new gadgets. From the outside, this seems like a beacon of economic progress, providing jobs and fueling industry. But step inside the factory walls, and a different picture emerges, one of relentless pressure and psychological toll. The workers on these assembly lines, many of them young people who have left their rural homes for these jobs, face a reality of intense monotony and strict discipline. Their days are a repetitive cycle of tiny, precise tasks, screwing in minuscule screws, attaching camera modules, testing screens, for 10, 12, or even more hours a day. They are expected to perform with machine-like speed and accuracy, with their every move often timed and monitored. The pressure to meet production targets, especially in the run-up to a new phone launch, is immense. Breaks are short, and the work is mentally draining. Beyond the physical exhaustion, there is a deep sense of isolation for many, living in crowded dormitories far from their families. The psychological cost is a heavy one, leading to stress, anxiety, and a feeling of being a small, replaceable cog in a vast, impersonal machine. The sleek device you unbox with excitement was touched by countless hands that worked under fluorescent lights, their own dreams and struggles embedded in its circuitry, all for a wage that does not reflect the immense profit the final product will generate. The human cost is only one part of the equation. The other is the staggering environmental price tag attached to every single smartphone. The journey of your phone is a story of consumption and waste from the very first moment. The mining process we discussed earlier doesn't just scar the landscape, it poisons it. To separate these valuable metals from the raw ore, miners use strong acids and other chemicals. These toxic substances often leak from mining sites, contaminating nearby rivers and groundwater, destroying ecosystems, and making farmland unusable for local communities who depend on it for survival. But the environmental impact does not stop at the mine. The manufacturing process itself is incredibly energy-intensive. The creation of the complex circuitry, the purification of silicon for the chips, and the fusing of glass and metal all require massive amounts of electricity, much of which still comes from burning fossil fuels. This contributes significantly to the carbon footprint of your device before you have even taken it out of the box. Furthermore, the design of modern smartphones, sleek, glued together, and difficult to repair, creates a throwaway culture. When a battery degrades or a screen cracks, it is often cheaper or easier for consumers to replace the entire phone than to repair it. This leads to a tidal wave of electronic waste, or e-waste, which is the fastest growing waste stream in the world. These discarded devices are a toxic cocktail of lead, mercury, and arsenic, and when not recycled properly, they end up in landfills, leaching their poisons back into the earth, completing a destructive cycle that began with their own creation. Now, let us talk about a cost that is even more personal, one that affects your mind and your time. You likely paid several $100s for your smartphone. But that was only the initial price of admission. The real economic engine of the smartphone world is not the hardware, it is your attention. Think about the apps you use every day: social media, video platforms, news feeds. Most of them are free to download. So, how do these companies, some of the richest in the world, make their money? The answer is they sell access to you. Your smartphone is a gateway for what is called the attention economy. Every notification, every endless scroll, every autoplaying video is meticulously designed to keep your eyes glued to the screen for as long as possible. The more you engage, the more data you generate, what you like, what you watch, who you talk to, where you go. This data is a goldmine. It is packaged and sold to advertisers who want to target you with unparalleled precision. This constant battle for your attention has hidden costs. It fragments our focus, making deep, sustained thought more difficult. It can impact our mental health, as we subconsciously compare our real lives to the curated highlight reels of others. It can erode our real-world relationships, as we sometimes pay more attention to the device in our hand than the person across the table. In this model, you are not just the consumer, you are the product being sold. The currency is your time and your personal information, and the bill is paid with your focus and, sometimes, your peace of mind. After hearing all this, it is easy to feel a sense of despair or helplessness. The problem seems too big, too woven into the fabric of our global economy. But understanding the hidden costs is the first and most crucial step toward demanding change. We are not powerless. As consumers, we hold immense collective power. The path forward is not about abandoning technology, but about embracing it more consciously and ethically. So, what can we do? First, we can break the cycle of constant upgrades. Do you truly need a new phone every 2 years? Using your current device for even 1 year longer makes a massive difference, reducing its environmental footprint and the demand for conflict minerals. Second, when you do need to buy, consider supporting companies that are prioritizing ethical sourcing, using recycled materials, and designing their products to be reparable. Look for phones with replaceable batteries and companies that publish detailed sustainability reports. Third, support the Right to Repair movement, which advocates for laws that force manufacturers to make parts and repair manuals available, empowering local repair shops and giving our devices a longer life. Finally, we must reclaim our attention. Be mindful of your screen time. Turn off non-essential notifications. Curate your feed to serve you, not the advertisers. The smartphone is a powerful tool, but it should be a tool that serves you, not the other way around. The true cost of your smartphone is not just in dollars, but in human dignity, environmental health, and your own attention. By becoming aware and making more conscious choices, we can begin to write a new, more responsible story for the technology we love.